Hello marketers. So we are here to discuss what is marketing mix modeling. So in today's fast-paced world, we invest in multiple places and in for multiple channels, and we do not have a track of where we are investing and which individual channel is driving us the maximum return of investment. And we also do not have a track of if the channels are individually giving us profit or loss or what is the margin. So this application uses Google Meridian, which uses the Bayesian inference. So what is it? So it gives us it uses a prior knowledge. So this application can also work on very limited amount of data, as it can use the prior knowledge to for the model to run. So let's take a walkthrough of this application. So when we land on the home page, this is the brief of what is marketing mix modeling, and there is a chatbot that can answer you any questions regarding MMM, Bayesian inference, and what is Google Meridian. Next is the data requirements page, where we have specified the data that Google Meridian requires as input. So first is the media data. So any attributes of channels like impressions, clicks, click-through rates are known as media data, and the spend for those corresponding channels like spend for Facebook or Google channels are known as the media spend. Next is the control variable. So any factor that can affect the revenue or the target KPI is known as control variables. For example, discount. And the most important is the KPI, the target KPI, which we want to calculate using this model. So here we have also specified an example schema of what kind of data you need to provide for the Meridian model to run. It is the upload data section. So we can upload our data set here and it will work throughout the application. So here we can visualize our uploaded data in a better manner. For example, if you want to see the KPI graph, or we want to compare our spend between channels, like we can. So these graphs are very interactive and we can visualize whichever channel differences we want to visualize. So after the graph section, we have the transformation section. This section talks about two main transformations that market mix modeling offers. So it is the Adstock and the Hill transformation. So what is Adstock transformation? If we take an example, if I'm investing a current amount on a particular channel today, it doesn't mean that the channel will drive me the whole results. It will come with time, with some delay. So the delayed or the carryover effect that the revenue has on the amount of spend we do is known as the Adstock effect. And the Hill transformation means that how much ever spend I perform on a particular channel, at a certain point, the returns from the channel are going to diminish. So we have graphs for the particular channel that we select. So for this channel, this is the graph of the original spend versus the Adstock spend. So as you can see, the Adstock spend will always be greater than the original spend. And the next is the Hill graph. From here we can figure out that after a certain point, the returns are going to be diminishing and at a constant rate. So we get an idea of should we invest more or not. So this is the transformed data on a particular channel. The Adstock and Hill transformations are performed. So there is a decay rate parameter for Adstock. For example, it means that if the decay rate is 0.5, it means that the 50% delayed effect of previous spend on my current revenue. And hill function means the amount at which the returns start diminishing, and the S-shape parameter controls the shape of the hill. Next is the map attribute section. So from here we load the saved model and we start mapping the attributes from our data to the predefined variables of the Google Meridian. So here the KPI will be conversions, the date column, and here we can add our spend columns. So the paid media spend column, for example, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, and their corresponding channel attributes will be added from here. So Facebook impressions, and the external factors like discount can be added over here. So Meridian also offers another optional parameters like organic media attributes and non-media attributes. So on clicking run, the variables will be mapped to the Google Meridian variables. After this, we need to perform the parameters on this data. So we don't need to understand these parameters in deep right now, but these are required parameters for the MCMC sampling method in Google Meridian, where we give number of samples and these values so that accurate parameters are generated and the model runs on our data. Next is the generate insights section, where we load the saved model and we get an HTML page of the insights that are transformed. So this is the baseline versus marketing channels graph. So what is baseline over here? Baseline is the revenue generated when we haven't spent any extra or additional spend. And next we have the contribution by baseline marketing channel graph. Here we have ROI versus effectiveness and ROI versus marginal ROI graph and the response curves of the particular channels. Next is the optimization section, where we load the model and perform budget allocation. So it will generate us a fixed budget allocation where the budget is fixed but the revenue will be maximized. So this graph shows that if my channel is at incurring loss, then I need to reduce the spend, and if the channels are gaining profit, the spend should be increased. This is the optimized budget allocation channel wise, and here we can see the response curves that if the channel is incurring a loss, then the spend is advised to be less and we try to come to a break-even point so that there is less loss incurred on total revenue. And we can see that the channels that are giving us profit, we increase their spend to get even more profit. Next is the simulation portion, where we calculate the return on investment or the marginal return on investment. So what is return on investment? The return on investment is the return I get on the target KPI when I spend every one individual dollar, and marginal return of investment is the additional revenue that I get on the additional spend that I perform. So these are the budget constraints, and we can select a target ROI or MROI and run the simulation. So this will give us the simulation from our data, and this was the walkthrough of this application, and I hope that marketing mix model was well explained.